Your Royal Highness Princess Dina, Mired, the Chancellor of the University of Global Health Equity, Dr. Paul Farmer, a friend, Executive Director of Women in Global Health, Mrs. Roopa Dhatt, Honorable Ministers and government officials, distinguished ladies and gentlemen from the academia, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is inspiring to join you all here today, and indeed a great honor for us in Rwanda to host this significant conference on women's representation and leadership in the health sector. Thanks to the University of Global Health Equity and the women leaders in global health initiatives, Rwanda has the opportunity to provide a platform for great minds like yours to deliberate upon and find solutions to the theme of the day. But before I begin, let me welcome you all, new and seasoned visitors to Kigali. I hope that beyond this conference, you'll free some time to experience and enjoy the offerings of our city in the land of 1,000 hills. Distinguished guests, quality healthcare is not the preserve of a privileged few, but the fundamental right of all citizens, regardless of their economic status, gender, race, disability, religious and political inclination. To afford all human beings access to quality health services and care when they need them is to afford them dignity and control over their own lives. But to achieve this, however, we need more than strong policies, laws, and mechanisms in the health sector. We need the right people in the right places, making the right decisions at the right time to guarantee every individual's right to health. We also need diversity at the top, a leadership that is representative of the population it serves, and one that brings to light in the most accurate way possible and address the multifaceted nature of our health needs and aspirations. Ladies and gentlemen, in short, we need more women at the top. According to statistics of the WHO, female health workers make up 70% of the global health workforce, yet only 25% of women hold leadership positions. In Rwanda, for example, over 50% of civil servants in the health sector are women, yet only 18% are specialists, a far cry from the 82% male specialists. Additionally, in Rwanda, women dominate primary health care, and to date, more than 66% of our community health workers are female, handling more than 50% of health conditions. These statistics highlight two sides to reality within the health sector. One, we do indeed have a significant number of qualified and experienced women contributing to the health sector, but we have not created the space for them to make decisions and voice their clearly informed opinions on what ought to be the solutions to the challenges facing the health sector. Distinguished ladies and leaders and partners, I humbly believe we ought to start by assessing the role of the woman in families across the world. The woman is often, if not always, the one expected to care for the well-being and health of her family. She'll be the primary person catering to the health needs of her husband, her children, and sometimes her own parents and siblings. And this natural predisposition for the woman to become her family's first caregiver, sometimes from a young age, shows us that she has some of the key prerequisite qualities we ask of health care providers, and namely selfishness and a sense of urgency and responsibility towards the well-being of those around her. However, as time passes by and these women start making decisions as to her future professional path, we notice that a significant few will be the ones pursuing a leadership position in health-related career. Distinguished guests, I believe the different topics to be tackled over these 2 days, therefore, will give us the platform to carefully dissect this gender gap in order for us to fully understand why women do not make their way up the health professional ladder in more significant numbers. Indeed, improving women's leadership in the health sector requires a multifaceted, multi-partner and multi-sector approach as it speaks to the enforcement of gender equality and equity across the board. It begs the question of whether women in the sector are equipped with the right training and confidence to take on leadership roles, or whether the sector itself is ready to accommodate and promote the next generation of women leaders and health practitioners, or, and last but not least, whether the environments in which they work and live are conducive for them to live a balanced life. Indeed, how do we foster a friendly ecosystem for the woman who has chosen to pursue her calling even if her profession will require an extensive education followed by demanding work hours and time away from her family and other social obligations? Perhaps that's why so many of you female doctors choose to marry within your professions. I'm sure most of you are guilty of that. So how do we prepare the men to not feel threatened by a growing generation of women seeking leadership roles and thriving in them? I don't want to believe that you are threatened. You're too strong to be threatened. Ladies and gentlemen, the truth behind this matter is that the health sector, like the majority of other sectors, need to rid itself of its dominantly male perspectives. Health institutions and enterprises need to enable the manly female technicians to join the ranks of CEOs and leaders. The intimate knowledge that they possess of their fields stand to transform the sector as a whole. We can only do this by creating and availing opportunities for capacity building and training, especially on leadership, while learning to see beyond our narrow lenses and focus on what we stand to gain when we prioritize the needs of our community as a whole. We need to create strong female networks from which the next generation of female health practitioners can get the mentorship and guidance they need to take their careers to the next level, and by promoting platforms such as this conference that allows those concerns to genuinely discuss the common challenges and collectively come up with solid solutions. Honorable guests, looking at the list of discussions and sessions that to take place during these 2 days, I'm confident that we will all walk away with concrete ideas and implementable recommendations on how to improve inclusivity in this important sector. Let us be pragmatic in our quest to create a more unbiased world, a world that our future generations will fully thrive in, away from inequalities that have for too long been holding all us back. I thank you for your kind attention and wish you fruitful discussions.